Humans, what have you learned? Programmed to beat you. Humans, what have you learned? It was programmed to beat you. programmed to beat you. have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. Same mistakes. I was programmed to beat you. Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. have you learned? I was programmed to beat you.
Sundays, but here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Sundays, but here we are. 1. Hello, and welcome back here tonight. Sorry for that little technical problem. Everything's in a little bit of a rush tonight, and also sorry for my voice sounding quite terrible as well on top of that. It's been quite a long week. So, we are here for Silverstone. I'm alone here tonight in the Tier 1 race at Silverstone. Round 7 of the season. We've already had 6... Is it round 7? It might be round 7. I think it should be round 7. Let me just confirm. I'm actually wrong. Holy. I'm wrong about my own race. My apologies. It's not round 7. It's round 8. Dear apologies to everybody here tonight. Absolutely mixing up everything and anything I could possible. I am absolutely amazing here tonight. Yeah, I know it is round 8. I know now. I had to look at the calendar for a second. But we are here at Silverstone, of course. It is a brilliant, lovely little circuit that we all love to see. Ultimately, here's the track map of Silverstone. 5.891 kilometers, 3.660 miles, 18 turns. Ultimately, only 2 DRS zones down the first long straight and the back straight. Of course, the hanger straight. Can never remember the other straight. I'm doing okay. I'm surviving. I'm surviving for now. The calendar, of course, as we've discussed, it's round 8. We've gone through Belgium, Mexico, Imola, Kota, Austria, Abu Dhabi and Hungary last week. We've got Great Britain, of course, this week. And then we've only got the final 5 races of the season of China, Italy, Brazil, Saudi Arabia and Japan. And all of that time, we're only going to be having 1 break week to the rest of the season. So that's going to come before the final 2 races, by the way. But cars are already coming out onto track. I don't have standings for this week. And this is on the wrong screen. My holy, I am on something here tonight. I do apologise. I have done too much this week and I'm fiddling. I do apologise. This is so broken. I hate this. My apologies. My apologies for all that. That was awful. Let me just fix a few bits. Yeah, my apologies. I'm all over the place. Of course, 12 esports both having to retire from the session. Let's bring up the cars. We've got a few cars already going around, but we've got a Red Bull, an RB, sorry, which is on the lap. That is the RB of Mike Tallons, who is on a lap at the moment. and making his way round. Turn 3 he goes through Village, now into turn 4. Very nicely through turn 4 he goes as well, not too badly from the driver himself. Yeah, it's broken. It is broken. And at the end of Sector 1, 27.7. Nobody set a lap yet. But there's a lot of drivers on laps and out laps and everything, so I'm not sure who's doing what. But Mike Talon so far, through Luffield he went. Very nice, through there, not too bad. Barbance, yes, he returns here tonight. The man who has had probably the worst luck out of anyone this season. I have to say, definitely the worst luck out of anyone. Now coming through Maggots and Beckett's now. He throws the car through at high speed. You can pretty much take this flat now. Opening the rear wing, getting that DRS down the hanger straight. They go the longest straight. Yes, I know you can't hear the cars. Sadly, it is because my audio is broken once again. The audio in-game is broken, I'm afraid to say. Estenberg sets the fastest time, 25.674. Can Mike Talons beat that? F1 Shorts couldn't. And Mike Talons won't be able to either. He can only go P2, but he finds himself very far off. Mikas finds himself going into P2, 26.1. Silo goes P3. No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not the sound that's the problem. It's not turning it up that's the problem. It's the car's actual sound in game that's the problem. It's really broken. It's like it's kind of half there, half isn't, kind of laggy. It is a horrible sound. That's why I'm not wearing my headphones. That's why I've actually turned game sound off, is because I can't take it through my headphones anymore. It was working for a while, and then their latest patch a few days ago did not help. Lucas only went P6. Hydra Alpha only goes P8. Emma Silo only went 9th, by the way, slowest of all. He's on another flying lap, though, at the moment. I hope everybody's having an absolute amazing Tuesday evening. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday evening. It's really nice to see everybody back. It's nice to be back as well after missing Sunday, and I do apologise about all the crazy stuff that happened on Sunday in Falls if you were watching. I wasn't around, sadly. Trusted just goes P6 behind his teammate, very slightly slower, 6,000 slow, exactly, very close. Still a lot on the table for a lot of drivers right now, so don't give up on any of them. Barbance coming round, his teammates on an outlap. Anybody close to the line? I think Barbance will be the next driver to cross the line. Yes, he will be. Coming round the final chicane before the final corner. Here comes Barbance. Across the line he goes. It's only P3, but it's still 0.7 of a second away from Estenberg. And is Estenberg on for a second pole position, a second victory in a row? Our TTRE, have they hit the gold mine at the moment with Estenberg? Very much, most likely, probably, because that is how it is really feeling here tonight. This is going to be very interesting. Somebody told me to check lobby settings in the chat. I don't know why somebody's telling me to check lobby settings. Very interesting. Somebody's telling me to check lobby settings. Oh yeah, Trady had pole position. That's my bad. My bad. Me being blind, dumb. Sasoy, championship leader, only goes P4. Not perfect. AMS, their championship leader, their golden man of the season, back once again this week after missing Hungary, but hasn't found that same form and finds himself quite far away from pole position. Ismol just went P3. Very much interesting why some people are saying check lobby settings, because I've checked the lobby settings. I did the lobby settings. If Timon, you'd be ever so kind to maybe ask why they're mentioning lobby settings. I don't think there's a problem. I think everybody's okay. Elite, TTRE Elite also returns this week. Stefan Kuchen making his way round. Making his way around very nicely and very quickly. Can the Williams driver put in a good performance? Can MAR get a better performance than they did last race? Their worst race of the season happened last week in Hungary. They finished as the bottom two drivers in the race, basically last place, very much pitting in, sadly, almost a Williams 2019 or 2020 sort of race. Very difficult one from them, as Stefan Kuchen, though, goes P2. And that is very close. 400s faster than Mikas, but it is enough to find himself on the front row. Well, provisional front row, but it doesn't matter because provisional or not, it's close enough and it is still a chance to win in the race. And it still improves your chances hugely. ART David, I think, is coming in. Yes, he is. Silo Dark has started a lap. There's Lucas starting a lap. AMS Silo has started a lap. There's a few different drivers. Making their way around. TTRE Elite, though, puts in the fastest, puts in second place behind his teammate and substantially closer than anyone else. 4/10 closer than anyone else, by the way. TTRE Dominance. Maybe coming out in the Aston Martin. Some talks about the Aston Martin being a bit slow. Mercedes and Aston Martin struggling, driving very differently. Equal cars looking like they're no longer equal. Very, very strange at the moment. Oh, okay. So it's not a lobby problem. I'm hoping it's not a lobby problem. Thank you, Timon, for checking. If it is, just tell me. If it isn't, if it's a lobby problem, we just have to run with it. Most of these drivers don't use it. It's a general thing. You don't use it anyway. As AMS Silo, he's found a lot of time in his lap. 2.9 seconds. A 25.600 on the dot. And that is fastest from AMS and a return to form for them here tonight. I don't know. And Estemba, though, he finds another 72 thousandths in his lap time just to go that little bit quicker and just to beat AMS Silo in the end. We've got a few other drivers coming around. We've got a Red Bull that's coming around. That's Barbance on his out lap. I think it's Mikas who's coming around next. He's pushing very hard in that Alpine, but can he find the time that's needed? He can't. He's actually slower on his second run. Disappointment there. Clark is also on an out lap. Yeah, I think auto gears are off. Auto gears are off. I've double checked now. They are off. They should be off. Click them off. Ismail making his way around. Williams coming in. There's a Ferrari on a fast lap. It is Hydra Alpha, currently SCT, Tier 1 SCT that got promoted, who were leading Tier 2, go P13 and P17 now. The struggle is looking quite real for SCT at the moment. Strength not looking on their side this week. Really looking like they're having a bit of a rough time out there. Quite interesting to see as we see Lucas cross the line. He only finds 2/10 and still 17th. Obviously, he's not happy with that lap. He's very unhappy with that lap. But Barbance is making his way around. He's actually invalidated even though he's 2/10 up. How's Clerk doing? We can't see how he's doing because he's just crossed the sector. But it didn't show a time. I think he's still going to finish his lap. He hasn't invalidated. Well, not yet. Yes, he is going to finish his lap. So his teammate unable to. Currently P8 and P11 for ABE so far here tonight. Not the best night they're having either. 4.5 tenths faster, but that's still only enough for P10. And at the moment, the grid split by 2 seconds, by the way. 2 seconds. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Very odd. We also just saw Ismail. He just improved by 1/4 of a second to go P4. Still not in reach of these top 3 at the moment. Still 2 tenths. Still TTR Elite. TTRE Elite. Still the top 3. At least 2 tenths clear of P4. So there's definitely gaps. There's another 2 tenths back to P5. Exactly the same lap times, by the way, from Stefan Kuchen and Sassoy at the moment. So Sassoy, AMS Sassoy, for the first time this season, we're actually looking at AMS Sassoy being looking and seeming like the weaker driver out of the 2, which is, I'm pretty sure, almost the first time this season we're seeing it. So, I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday night. Please think about subscribing and leaving a like. We just surpassed 100 subscribers, so it's a very nice time. We're having an absolute great time this season. I have to say, it's absolutely been amazing. The support from everybody, from all of you guys, is exceptional. Stefan Kuchen finding 400ths in his lap at the moment. Still only going to be enough for P5 to stay there. Push himself slightly further ahead of Soy. He's on an alternative qualifying strategy, but he won't make his way back for the pits. This will be his final run, by the way. So this will be his qualifying over. He finds a 10th, but it's only enough to stay at P5 and to a 26.0, by the way. So still not enough for the man of Stefan Kuchen here tonight. Who else is on a lap? Nobody is actually on a lap. There's a Haas on a lap. On out lap, sorry. It's F1 Shorts. Let's ride on board with F1 Shorts on his final run, and ultimately all of these drivers' final runs in qualifying. See Williams going slowly. I think that's him letting them by. I think that's Stefan Kuchen in the first sector. As now, as you can see, as F1 Shorts makes his way around, he's going to have some traffic. He's got 3 cars in front of him. He's got a McLaren, Ferrari, and a Mercedes all in front of him. Ferrari he'll probably catch during Luffield, most likely during these next 2 corners. He's probably going to catch that Ferrari. That Ferrari better move out of the way soon. But F1 Shorts needs a big improvement here. I mean, the grid currently split by 2 seconds at the moment, which does go against currently our rules. The grid shouldn't be this split. And ultimately, it's an invalidation for F1 Shorts on his final lap. Let's look to the next driver who's just started a lap. That is ultimately Silo, who started the lap. He's back off in Sector 1. He's heading down this straight. Now heading at the end of Sector 1, 65,000 slow with a Haas car, not proving to be an easy one here tonight. The setup obviously not fully working for either of the Haases because they're just struggling a bit. Yes, I feel sad for you, Axel, here tonight. I really do. I feel sad for you. The power goes out. Very, very disappointing. Would have been nice to see you race here tonight. But the racing must go on, but at least you're able to watch it, and at least you're able to get some fun that way and cheer on CRE all the way. Ultimately, almost 0.2 of a second up in the middle sector. He's got to find at least another 10th if he wants to get himself P6. This sort of group at the moment sitting quite close. There's no driver incredibly close to each other, really, at the moment. There's all gaps between everybody. Stefan Kuchin, of course, finished his qualifying, so of the 3 retirees. And it's only 700ths faster from Silo, and it's only enough for P9 at the moment. It's TTRE Elite coming around. He's improving by just over a 10th of a second. He's got to find some more time. He goes 2/10 faster, just behind his teammate. Almost enough, but not enough in the end. Mike Talons only goes slightly faster. Now we've got Trusted coming up to the line. Where is he going to go? He's going to go in front of his teammate. Now Estember. Estember goes slightly faster, 1,000th faster in the end. Mikas goes P4. Good improvement there. We've got Silo coming up to the line next. He's improving by nearly 2/10 of a second. And across the line he goes. Silo goes fastest! 1 minute 25.3 is what Silo puts in. Sasoi goes P6. My voice is dying at the same time. Lots of drivers crossing the line. We'll see as they cross the line. David just went P10. You see the SET struggling to make up any time. We just saw somebody climb up the order. Ismail's coming around next. He's on a slow lap. He's not pushing. There's a Red Bull that spun it. And that is qualifying over ultimately. But it is your man of AMS Silo on pole. AMS return to pole position. They took one race as a break. And now they return here tonight. But it's still a very strong weekend for TTRE. AMS Silo on pole, followed by Estember, Elite, Mikas, Ismail, Sasoi, Stefan Kuchin, Barbans, Silo Dark, ART David, Clerk, Hydra Alpha, Harry, Trusted, Mike Talons, SET Lucas, F1 Shorts, and then followed by our qualifying bands, 12 Noxia, Hops, and 12 NTN. Incredible, incredible. Now it is time to get underway for the race very shortly in about 3 minutes time. But it is going to be an interesting race nonetheless. Before we get in, I want to see your race predictions. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to be the top 3 in this race? Very much it is leaning towards AMS Silo, clearly being the man who's on his way to win and get another AMS win. But the first time this season, it won't be AMS Sasoi winning a race, by the way. That will be for the first time this season that a different AMS driver other than Sasoi has won. So Silo definitely on his way, but he's got to get that start right. It's quite difficult. We saw Lando Norris try last year. We saw it this year as well. It's quite difficult on pole position. It's quite difficult in second as well. Third place usually gets a better start. Also down, I believe in 7th as well gets a decent start as well in these races. Strategy is probably going to be hard to medium. That is usually the strategy, pitting about lap 14, between lap 13 to lap 16 is when you usually want to pit. Going to be very interesting to see here tonight. Hello, Tech Jacker. I forgot to say hello. Hello, Andy. Welcome to the stream. My apologies for forgetting to say hello. Just me on a usual day. Going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen here tonight and get this race underway. But we'll be readying up in the next minute, so get ready. having a quick drink before we get underway. I'm probably going to die anyway from... My voice is probably going to die halfway through the lap. So don't be expecting too much of me screaming. Because my voice is going to die. Going to be quite interesting to see how tonight's race goes. So I was having to send a ping to everybody because nobody's readying up like usual. Yeah, let's get driving. Do what Timon says. Let's get driving. We've been waiting long enough, and now we don't have to wait any longer. It's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here in Silverstone for round 8 of FRLT Season 2. And it's a good getaway into one from AMS Silo. He's got some side-by-side action with Estember. Estember still sitting there. He's going to fall in behind and in line. Mikas gaining some positions in the end. Ismol battling with TTR Elite. Elite dropping down the order quite heavily. Sasoi trying to make his dive bomb down the inside. He's making that move work on Mikas for the moment for P3. He's currently on the soft tyres. A lot of drivers going to those tyres at the moment. Everybody's pushing their way around. They're all trying to be as fast as they can. Sasoi on the inside though, as he now heads down towards the next corner. He makes the move work, and he's now sitting behind Estember for P2. AMS hoping to make it a 1-2 in this race off of lap 1, and it's a good getaway from Sido, and it's a great getaway from Sasoi as well at the same time. As we look further back, Elite now making its way past Ismol as well, as now he makes his way past down the inside of Cops. Can he make it work? Has he made it work? Yes, he has, and that is ultimately P5, and that is good enough to take home 10 points, and TTRE now back to gaining positions as somebody's going quite wide further back. I believe that was Silo. That was Silo Dark who was going quite deep. As Stefan Kuchen dropping down quite a few places now, battling over positions. You could see Hops also having a battle of his own. He's stuck between the SET drivers and the Ferraris, and now one dips into the pits. Car dips into the pits. It is the Ferrari. That is the Ferrari of Hydra Alpha. Silo leads now off of lap 1, and it's a great start from the AMS driver, and it's a great start from AMS altogether. But Estember on those medium tyres, keeping up very nicely, by the way. Just to say that, he's keeping up incredibly nicely. And looking at the tyres, it's quite mixed. You can see Sasoi trying to see a dive bomb down the inside, but now DRS enabled. We're going to be seeing a lot of DRS trains, but at the moment, only 6 drivers part of this train, and now adding on a few more as now Kirk makes his move on Silo Dark for P8. Quite a lot of drivers on softs. It's quite mixed. We know the top 2 are on mediums of Silo, AMS Silo, and Estember. We can see a few others. Silo Dark, Stefan Kuchen, ART David, TTR Elite, TR Trusted, and Mike Talent all on mediums. But the rest are on softs, and with Hydra coming into the pits, he ultimately is on the hard tyres and probably going for the long stint. The biggest gainer off of lap 1 was actually Hops. He gained 6 places, by the way, so a really good start, but an important start from the man of Sasoi. But here comes Estember, by the way. He takes the lead ahead of AMS Silo here on lap 2, and now here comes Sasoi. Down the inside he goes into the chicane. Bit of a wobble, bit of contact, I think, with Silo, who dived it down the inside. Estember now gets a double overtaken. He's now got an Alpine of Mikas all over his gearbox. And the racing continues. And the grid is staying incredibly close. Everybody within DRS down to P16, by the way. All the way down to P16 is within DRS of each other. But you can see the man on mediums, Estember and Silo, both might be working together a bit more to fight against all of the other drivers who are on soft tyres. As now they head towards Luffield, Hydra Alpha already finishing his race on lap 3, already disappointed having that bad start and damage off the start. He's ultimately finished here tonight. Oh, and a bit on the gravel goes Estember. It's a mistake he's made. It's a second mistake on a second lap, although it might have been contact last lap, so it might have not been a mistake either. So we'll have to see. But Barbance making his way past Ismol for P6. Barbance on the charge, but he is on those soft tyres, meaning he's going to have performance at first. But he's only going to have those tyres on for about maybe 8 to maybe 11 or 12 laps into this race. Silo now retakes the lead of this race ahead of his teammate. But it's an AMS 1-2, 44 points on the way for AMS here tonight. And this is exactly what they'll be wanting as a comeback in their championship. But the only problem for AMS is that they've got a charging TTRE behind them. Main team... What do you mean, Eldonado? What do you mean? Please tell me. What do you mean? Please. The main team correct? I don't know what you mean. Please let me know. But ultimately, Silo leads now here on lap 4. Changing of the lead, we've now seen 3 race leaders, by the way. 3 race leaders in the matter of just 4 laps. Well, in the matter of just 3 whole laps. So we've seen quite a decent amount of 1 race leader a lap as it currently stands. But as you can see, Silo making his way round. Still a lot of high speed sitting behind that Mercedes powered car and that Mercedes car all together. But those medium tyres, are they maybe getting a little bit of an advantage over the softs? Because as you can see, Sasoi not so easily sticking to the back of his teammate at the moment. Not so easily. But here comes some movement happening further back. You can see Mikas trying to make a move, but Elite also trying to do the same thing. As Elite now, as he makes his move down the inside into the chicane. He has the line, he has the speed, and that is ultimately P4. And now it is P3 and P4 for TTRE. They were P2 and P3. Yeah, they should all be main team drivers. If it isn't, I'll be quite shocked. But pretty much this is all main team drivers. There's no specific rule really on it. But heading down now that... can't remember the straight no longer. Silo now taking the lead once again. Estemba, though, fighting with the man of Sasoi. Maybe those softs are becoming a little bit weaker now, because as you can see, Sasoi is now under attack more and more every single lap, by the way. He is coming under attack from the Aston Martin, and he's going to have the other Aston Martin for company as well very soon. But thing is, these guys are going to have to go for a 2-stop, or they're going to have to go straight for the hard tyres, and that's ultimately going to really make them struggle for for pretty much 2/3 of the race. They're going to be on those tyres for at least, I think, 14 laps. At least 16 laps they'll be on those tyres. Now Soy retakes the lead. He's actually battling with his teammate a bit here over the position. Maybe it's allowing everybody to say, oh, almost big contact further back, by the way. As Clerk is round. He's down to P13 now. He went a bit too deep. He locked the rears. And he ultimately spun into the side of Mikas. So quite a disappointment there for ABE. Not exactly what they'll be wanting here tonight. Soft mediums could work. But the wear is going to be quite high. Because the softs are already falling off. You can see Sasoi already another 10th further behind than he was last lap, by the way. Already another 10th further behind. The grid, though, rather oddly split at the moment. The top currently, quite an odd sort of split. We got kind of 3 drivers, another 3 drivers, another 2 drivers, and another 3 drivers together. So we've kind of got 3 groups of 9 drivers sort of sitting further back. And we've got all of the top 10 sitting incredibly close to each other as ART David now gets a 3-second time penalty. Making their way down now towards the chicane before they start lap number 7. Only 20 laps of this race to go. Yes, it is actually good teamwork from the AMS drivers here tonight. Very good teamwork, but they're going to be having a problem. They're going to be having the teamwork of TTRE as well at the same time. And I think Estember's not really wanting to wait. He wants to get past Sasoi. He knows Sasoi's just trying to hold him up, make it more difficult to get past. But now you can see those mediums really working against the soft tires. He's going to attack now. He's going to have the pace to attack now. He's closing. He's going to send it. Is he? He's waiting for that mistake. You can see the mediums are faster now. He's trying to take the wider line, get the better exit. He can't. Little bit of snap. Yeah, hard medium will be quite quick, but medium hards will also be quite quick. As there's a car that's gone off. There's been a collision. Back in Sector 1. That's between TIR Trusted and SCT Lucas. These two teams embroiled in problems. Not only this race, but for the last few races, TIR not having, after Imola, they've really struggled after Imola. They've not scored. I don't think they've scored as many points as they did in Imola alone since then. Estember, by the way, now trying to make his way up for the position of P2 as he tries to get past Sasoi the difficult way. He's trying to force his way past Sasoi, but Sasoi is just opening that gap now. And that's what Estember should be worried about. At the same time, at the moment, Estember can't be too patient. We're going to ride on board with the Aston Martin again. He's being a bit too patient behind Sasoi. He's waiting a bit too long. He has ERS to spend. He had, the two in front don't have that. They've really used their ERS. They're struggling to keep up without using huge amounts of ERS. These guys aren't really having to push through a huge amount of ERS at the moment. So, I think it is unnecessary, sort of waiting that maybe Estember is doing at the moment, because he's almost 8/10 away from the lead. He might be out of DRS by the time he does make that move. MAR Harry gets the 3-second time penalty. Getting the exit, though, is that what the Aston Martin does? Yes, it does. It gets the exit, and Estember, with the speed, heading down towards Stowe Corner. He's down the inside, he goes. He's tried to make the move. The softs holding on for dear life. Now into the chicane they go. They're still going side by side. He's gone the other side this time. He's still there. Is he going to get the exit? No, he isn't. And him and his teammate pushing each other through the corners. And MAR Harry, I think, might be seeing his afternoon finished and done already as he drops down a few positions. But Sasoi really holding up this group now. And to be honest, Elite is almost having to rush him on. Estember last race didn't really even have a competitor last race. Didn't really see anybody out on track after the sort of lap 2 or 3. And down the inside goes Estember once again. He's trying to make this move work. He knows he's faster through here. He knows he's got that speed. But again, the Mercedes just has enough. But it is Aston Martin versus Mercedes. We saw a bit of this in 2023. He's using his battery to get his way by. He's going to try and make the move work. The Mercedes is still there. They're still going. This is one of the worst angles ever. But it's TTRE making the teamwork is making the dream work at the moment, by the way. Because now it is ultimately 2-3 and a double overtake from those two. And now here comes Elite on his teammate making his way past. And that's a good one needed to make. Good move he needed to make to close up to Silo now. And now they are within a second. They're trying to get within a second of Silo. As a few drivers now pop into the pits. We see Sasoi go into the pits and Hops also heading into the pits as well. Pretty much the soft runners are going to be coming in very soon. A lot of the soft runners coming in. I think we just saw Trusted have a spin. A bit of a half spin out on track, I think. Elite now, by the way, outside of a second away from AMS Silo. We didn't we saw a huge gap last race. Huge gap. I mean, I think it was 20 odd seconds or like 18 seconds or something. It was a ridiculous gap. Last race in Hungary. Silverstone always shows that it's going to be closer, that it's always going to be more difficult. But the only problem that you have is once you're outside of DRS, it's the catching up. It's the catching up that's the problem, unless you're on much faster tyres. And that's currently what TCRE Elite and Estenberg are currently finding. That, you know, they're having this struggle. It's now down to just 5 drivers, by the way, all sort of within touching distance of each other. It's then another 2.7 seconds looking further back. Now as they head down the hangar straight once again, let's see if TCRE can keep a minimal loss here. And they are going to be able to keep a minimal loss. You can see still Mikas on those mediums. As you can see, Estenberg going off track, by the way. Might have to get that position back. I don't think so, because he already made the move. So I think that will be okay for now. Mikas Barnes into the pits, and now so comes Clerk as well. NTN gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Not been a good day for 12 Esports, currently P12 and P17, but with some cars to overtake them, they are definitely going to be dropping down the order. See, Noxia and NTN both having awful days. F1 Shorts, another 3-second time penalty to add to his day as well. Not been a good day for ARO. Really rough day for ARO here. Now making our way round down towards the hangar straight once again. My apologies for the silence. This chair is just not comfy at all. Now opening the rear wing. Elite now makes his move back up into P2 he goes, and that's exactly what he'll be wanting here tonight. Exactly what he'll be wanting. Elite up into P2, chasing Silo almost within that second, by the way, almost exactly within that second right now. That's what we've been talking about all day long. Are you within that second? Currently they are. Silo Dark, by the way, finding himself up to P5 now. Tyre-wise, he's still on 11 lap olds. Only 7 drivers on old tyres now, except Lucas, who's on 10 lap old softs. He's the only other one, by the way. Everybody else is on new tyres, excluding the top 7. Lap 12 out of 26, nearing that halfway mark in the race, of course. Next lap will be halfway through the race. AMS Silo continues to leave. His lead, by the way, has come below 1 second. Maybe AMS Silo struggling a bit now to hold off the TTRE duo, and especially now as they have DRS, it'll be the most difficult time now to hold them off. It'll be more difficult than ever to hold the duo off, as they're closed up by almost 0.3 of about quarter of a second there, just down the hangar straight alone. Might be a fight Silo might be having now. I think he'll really be having a fight with the TTRE drivers. I think that's where possibly his biggest fight is going to come here tonight. I think we all know that. His biggest fight is probably going to come with them and maybe with his teammate. But towards the end of the race, Sasoi won't be necessarily the strongest driver because of his tyre choice, because of the soft tyres in the first stint. At the end of the race, he'll probably be one of the weaker drivers when it comes down to pace wise. It's going to be incredibly interesting to see how these guys do here tonight. Once again, apologies if I go silent or whatever. I'm literally saving my voice, or I am having a drink. Just to make that clear, I'm not going silent on you and like falling asleep. I'm just saving my voice so I don't die. Mikas, by the way, trying to make a move on Barbance. That move not exactly sticking on the Red Bull at the moment. They've gone to the medium tyres, which is interesting to see. We know that the medium runners will try to go for the soft tyres at the end of it. There's a Ferrari that's going slow. That's Lucas who's going slow at the moment. Top three still going strong. I think because the softs last about 10 laps. By the way, because the softs last about 10 laps, we're going to be seeing drivers like, we're going to see the top three or tops of 7 go up into using those tires. We're going to be seeing them use those soft tires for their final stint if they get within 10 laps. If they get within 10 laps, they'll be fine. They really will. They'll be fine the minute they're within 10 laps. And they've got fresh sets. If they got worn sets, they're going to be a little bit screwed. But then at the end of the race, the mediums and softs will kind of equal out. Especially when the mediums have some extra tyre wear. Now, SCT Lucas retired. So both Ferraris are out. We had a full grid here tonight, which was the first time in a little while that we've had a full grid. But ultimately, SCT suffering a double DNF in their first double DNF of the season. My apologies also for not showing you updated standings. I've been ill for the past few days, so I haven't been able to update them. But I'll be updating them right after this race. And now, here comes Estenberg heading up through the corner of Stowe Corners. Now, Estenberg retakes the lead of this race. He's now going to dive into the pits. What tyres is he going for? He feels like maybe... First, we've got to see where he comes out in all of this, because Sasoy's just heading into the final sector now. And you can see this pit lane is quite long, especially the entry. It takes a while to get round. What are they going for? Soft tyres. Soft tyres going on Estenberg, by the way. Soft tyres going on Estenberg. Is he going to fresh softs? Is the big question. Yes, he is. So he's going to have that immediate pace. Thanks, Jack. Fun. Thank you, Jack, very much. I am feeling better. I've been able to return. Hopefully I'll get better and better. And then we'll be back to usual. Everything will be back on time. It's just the tracking back now on everything. Trying to catch up with everything. But ultimately, where has Estenberg come out? Estenberg's come out P9. How far behind Sasoy has he come out? Mike Talon's, by the way, just letting them all by. I think he knows his fight isn't with them. Sasoy only a few tenths up the road, by the way. Only about a second up the road. That's how far ahead he is. Sasoy is only a second up the road. And that's what 4 laps of an undercut, 4 or 5 laps of an undercut gets you. That's all that it gets you. From what it was, remember, Sasoy was ahead. He was slightly behind. He was a few tenths behind. So he's literally gained about 1.2 seconds in all of this. So he's barely gained anything. And Sasoy, big mistake from Sasoy. He gets a 3-second time penalty. And our championship leader, I just had to sit there in silence for a moment watching that. My hands on my head at the moment. The miracle of a save. But also the mistake of currently his season really costing him here tonight. He's now going to fall. He is going to be in front of Elite. But he's still going to be sitting in that position of he's going to get overtaken. But that mistake was massive from Sasoy. And really, again, it's another AMS mistake. Back-to-back races where they've made mistakes. He's not within DRS. Has he gotten DRS? No, he hasn't gotten DRS either. This is a big mistake Sasoy's now done, because he's now going to be looking at, losing 3 seconds on his race time. He's going to be gaining that, and he's going to be dropping positions. And at how close the grid is, he's going to be dropping really outside of podium contention, and it's going to be his first big mistake. It's going to be his first really big mistake of the season. That's a personal mistake. He's going to have to hold his hands up to. Barbance gets a 3-second time penalty, so even easier for the TTRE drivers to make their way through. AMS Silo's just coming to the pit, same as Stefan Kuchin. We're seeing Mikas currently lead. Some battling. Estenberg battling with Barbance. But on those soft tyres, Estenberg just making short work of the Red Bull. Soon to be short work of the Alpine as well. But where are they all going to come out, by the way? Where are they going to come out in all of this? Where is Silo going to come out? Silo's lost the lead. Silo's completely lost the lead. He's going to be miles behind. He's really dropped behind. He's over a second behind. Yeah, I do agree with you, Timon, there. That is really on Sasoya now. They've both dropped the ball, and they're 6th and 7th. Although Silo can gain positions, he better not get a penalty, because that is going to hurt him. And now Estenberg chasing down some positions here. Same as the man of Elite, who got past Sasoya, of course, as well. So now you can see these. You can see Barbance and Hops battling. Some yellow flag going on. That's Harry that's gone round. Barbance battling with Hops. Of course, penalty for Barbance. Hops having an absolute massive drive today. Through Hops they go. Very much Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen. Very much Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen incident from 2021 through Cops, but very, very close. But ultimately, no contacts and saving each other's day. Quite smart from Barbance to back out there. Maybe remembering that small incident from real life, of course. Or rather, the large incident from that race. As now Estenberg takes the lead of the race. Elite currently stuck there to watch the back of this battle right now. He's really stuck there having to watch this. He can't seem to get past Hops for the life of him. Silo's now caught up, but Silo is currently in its sort of soft driver or soft tire order. He's only P3. He's only P3 in the soft tire order. So at the moment, really, Silo might have just dropped 11 points. He might have just dropped 10 points in a single go. By the way. Just one single go. As now Estenberg, by the way. He was a bit weaker on those, on the first set of tyres. He's now putting in the laps. He's now got a 1.5 second lead in this race. He's going to be equal to Silo, equal to Elite. Elite and Silo, by the way, battling it out. Silo not really battling. Elite not really battling with Silo there. I think that's Harry that's gone round again through Village. You can see Barbance really defending heavily for his position. This is making Mikas's and Estenberg's day even better. That the gap is growing, and it's just allowing these two to just sit behind. Here comes Elite just following behind Silo. But still, that Red Bull of Barbance with enough speed on its own to stay in front. Silo is really having a tough day with getting past Barbance. Barbance putting on the defense of his life. The worst position he'll finish in currently is P6, by the way. That's where he's on to finish at the moment. So, still 8 points to come his way. Improvement in position still. And only 1 point for his teammate. So only 9 points to walk away for ABE here tonight. And it's another poor performance for them. A rather poor performance compared to the start of the season. Silo now making the move, by the way, on Barbance. Finally, now we can see Elite. He was a little bit, his teammate was a little bit anxious to make a move earlier. But now you can see a Barbance again trying to make that move. Elite trying to go around the outside. It's not working. Barbance putting on the defense of a lifetime. Silo now trying to get 2 in 1. But again, that Alpine just outpulling very slightly on the straight. It's now a 2.4 second gap. Almost 2.5 seconds between first and second, by the way. As the laps are just tumbling down. We're on to our final 8 laps of this race. 8 full laps left, by the way. Well, 7.5, and that is decreasing very, very quickly as the laps aren't too long around here. Only about a minute and I think 28, 29 seconds, so it's very short. Now here comes Elite. He's finally gotten past Barbance into P4. He's going to be chasing Silo all that he can, and down the outside goes Elite again. He's going to be doing it, and he's made the move work, and that's what he needs. But the biggest thing is he's keeping up with Silo. and he's going to be wanting to battle with Silo all that he can. He's going to be getting that slipstream all that he can, and he really needs this right now. He really needs all of this pace and everything that he's got behind him as he now makes his way around the first sector and around Village. Barbant's trying to make his way past Mikas as well. As Elite makes his way around, opening the rear wing, opening the DRS, it's going to close them hugely up because he's Silo already gaining huge amounts on Estember, already 6/10 since he got P2. So Silo clearly faster than Estember, but he's now got Elite for company. And we're going to now have to see, does Silo's qualifying pace, is it showing through here in the race? Silo's clearly been a fast driver, but when he was on those mediums, he was clearly very equal with another two other drivers, Vestenberg and Elite together. Make sure to put your predictions down in the chat. Please do that in the live chat. Please tell me your predictions for race winner and for the top 3 in the race all together. I'd really be interested to see who you see on the podium at the moment, especially with how this race is going. As we can see, Estember's lead is decreasing and decreasing, and it is coming lower and lower and lower. So maybe Estember's pushed a little bit too much, a little bit too early. Now, as they make their way round Village, once again, we're watching from the man of TTRE Elite. Currently chasing after Silo. You can see his teammate just about 2 seconds off in the distance from him. It's very close at the moment, and it's definitely going to come down very close with only 5 laps remaining. It's lap 21 out of 26, by the way. I was saying Eldonado with a prediction of Silo, Elite, Estember. Ooh, interesting. You're seeing Estember goes down to P3. Interesting to see. Interesting to see very much. This lap, though, Estember not dropping as much time. He's only dropped about 2/10 from about 2.5 tenths from the last lap round. So he's not dropping huge amounts of time. Timon, you're putting in Estember for the win, Elite for second, and AMS Silo for third. Do you think Silo's really going to struggle that much? Because look at how the time's coming down. He's really finding the time. But Estember could play a big part and play the team game. Excuse me, I'm absolutely struggling. Play the team game and keep Silo behind because he's stuck in the TTRE sandwich. But still, TTRE set to walk away with the most points once again at the moment. Even if they get second, they'll still walk away with the most points, I think, after tonight. Because they'll be walking away with 33 as it stands. And Timon saying Estember will hold up. It's now 8/10 of a gap. And another 8/10 back to his teammates. All equally spaced out now in this race. Clear track for the rest of the race. Lap 22 out of 26. 4 laps remaining. And those laps are coming down incredibly quickly. But the only difficulty is, will Elite be able to catch up? Because, again, Estember pulling a little bit of time. Pulling another 10th through Maggots and Beckett. You can see Elite, he's catching up very slightly. He's struggling a bit with the DRS. He's not really pulling in to the driver of Silo. But you can see how close Silo is now. He's really hungry to get this win. He really wants to get to be the only other driver to get an AMS win this season, other than AMS Sasoi. Which is very interesting to see. So here comes Silo into Village. They go. You can see Estember playing the team game very heavily. He's allowing his teammate to close up very heavily. 3/10 closer, by the way. That is how much closer he's gotten. Now, here comes Silo heading down towards the next corner. How much has Estember been saving? That's the big question. ERS-wise, don't know how much he's been saving. Estember's been saving Elite, not so much, but I don't know about the Mercedes. I'm not 100% sure about the Mercedes, but the Mercedes is definitely not doing... I don't think he'll be doing the best for ERS-wise out of all of them, to be honest. But now they're behind, and they're going to be following him, and they're going to be getting Slipstream, and they're going to be getting DRS, which is going to be the important thing. And you can already see Estenberg keeping up, keeping close within 0.2 of a second, now 0.3. But you can just see the different racing lines. The DRS is now going to mean everything. Teamwork going on. They want to get him on the final lap. They want to get him when he is, when he is expecting it, but they want to push so heavily with their attack. But you can see Estenberg just working with his teammate at the moment, just saying, not yet, let's not battle, let's aim for this win, let's try and get back-to-back wins, become only the second team this season to do that. At the moment, only AMS have won back-to-back races, by the way. They are the only team to have won back-to-back races. Barbant's dropping down the order. He's down to 7th. I think he's had a spin. He's gone around quite heavily. He's really struggling quite a bit. You see Estenberg actually keeping up. Estenberg keeping up with Silo now. So Silo not really having the strength that he did have before. He's not having that strength anymore. So TTRE going into the final 3 laps of this race using Slipstream, DRS, everything they've got could be on their way for an incredibly strong race. Could be on for a 1-2. I mean, if they walk away with 43 points here tonight, that is an absolute massive finish for TTRE to walk away with 43 points. If they could walk away with 43 points. Would be absolutely crazy if they could walk away with 43 points here tonight. But at the same time, AMS Silo, he wants to break the cycle of Sasoi winning. He wants to win now. He now wants to be the other AMS driver to win. He wants to be added to the list of race winners this season, as we have had less. Sasoi, by the way, is the driver who has won the most races out of any driver in FRLT ever. By the way, he's won the most races. He's won 4 races versus... he's won 4. I think he might have won 5 if we're including last season. If we're including last season, I think he won 1 as well. If I'm correct. I think he won 1. Or if he didn't, still, I think it's 4. I think it's 4 or 5. He has the most wins out of anybody because the closest person to him for wins is 2. That's actually the closest person for wins to him is 2 wins. And Estenberg's hoping to add his name to that list of 2-time winners, which is currently just 3 drivers, by the way, who have 2 wins in this championship. Not only this season, but altogether. Only Takubi and Drastic Blaze from FGE last season and Takubi from ABE have 2 wins. And that was from season 1. The fact that Sasoi has done what those guys could only do across the whole season with 2 drivers, and he's done that in, 6 races, is pretty shocking, to be honest. It's pretty crazy. Even in 8 races, he's won half of them. At the moment, he's on he's not going to win this one here tonight, but he's on his, he would have won half of them, which is a pretty big thing to hold up, and at least about a third of them by the end of the season. But now we're about to head on to the final lap. We go. Lap 26 out of 26. Can Silo hold on to the lead or not? He's going to be throwing everything he's got. So will Estenberg. So will Elite. They've been saving up ERS. I think also Silo would have been saving up ERS. But these two have been saving their tires a little bit more. Sorry for the sneeze. Oh, for God's sake. Why do I sneeze on the final lap? Now, as they come down the Wellington Straight, I finally remembered it, the Wellington Straight now coming round the first corner. Now through Luffield they go. Every bit of speed is coming their way as they come down the original pit straight, the old pit straight as it is known, still staying close, all within 0.4 of a second, by the way. That is how close these top 3 are. All within 0.4 of a second. CIE on for a big finish of 22 points as well, by the way. Estenberg all the way up on the back of Silo, by the way. Now, here they come. Coming down the I can't remember it, no. And now coming down the straight, here they come with DRS Estember to the inside, he goes. Will Elite follow? Elite can't follow. Oh, contact! Contact, Silo almost losing it. Now heading down into the chicane they go. Still side by side. Estember goes too deep. And that is a mistake made by Estember. So Silo will cross the line and win. As AMS Silo wins here in Great Britain. Estember second. Elite third. It'll be Mikas in fourth. And Hops in P5. And our championship leader, for the first time this season, will finish a race outside of the podium. And no words. Outside of the first place, by the way, he's had 100% rate, I do believe. So, or he's had close to it. He's been inside the top 2, I think, the whole time. But AMS Silo win. Another AMS win. 5th win of the season for them. Very, very close. Estember almost got the win, but a mistake under braking. Elite as well, almost claiming it. But it's TTRE who scored the most points from tonight, by the way. Or do they? Because they'll score 33. AMS will score 33 as well. Yeah, they're scoring 33 as well because they didn't get fastest lap. So both AMS and TTRE both getting the same amount of points, both getting 33 points here tonight. And that's not too bad of a finish. AMS Silo wins, Estember second. Some of the predictions being a little bit wrong, but it was still same drivers that all of you guys predicted. Still the same drivers inside of the top 3, just not in the right order exactly. None of you guys getting the right order actually. Drive of the day, Hops. We'll see when we get to the loading screen, but it is another AMS win, a 5th one for them this season. They only need to win once more. They just need to win once more this season to equal FGE's total of wins last season. And that was across 13 races, by the way. So now, here is the order of the grid. From pole to victory, it is AMS Silo who takes the win here tonight. Estember is second, with TTRE Elite in third. The top 4, by the way, staying all in the same positions as they started. Hops, easily, by the way, drive of the day. 19th to 5th. Monster of a drive. AMS Soy, first time this season we're seeing him have a bit of a rough race. Just like AMS last race. Stefan Kuchen finishing 7th, Barbans 8th. Ismail 9th and Clerk in 10th. 12 NTN finishes 11th with David in 12th. Silo Dark in 13th. Noxie in 14th. Mike Talons in 15th. F1 Shorts in 16th. And Tiara Trusted in 17th with MAR Harry in 18th. Retirees being SCT Lucas and Hydra Alpha. What a race. What a race. What a race. What a race it was here tonight. Incredible. Really incredible racing we've seen once again. This week. Surprising racing, I think. Surprisingly close. Not what I expected it to be. Not what I expected it to be any sort of way, if I'm being honest. No, didn't expect it to be that good here tonight, but it just shows that we're not all perfect, but still, it is absolutely amazing showing from, again, all of the drivers here tonight, absolutely putting on an absolute amazing show, just to show the absolute brilliant driving quality of everybody in this league. Generally amazing. Hungary, we saw massive differences, but TTRE, again, the return of TTRE, double podium for them. First time this season they've taken on a double podium. Incredible race once again from them. Nobody can take that away from them. They equal AMS in points for a race, which is they're by the way, AMS haven't been beaten in points. They've only been beaten in points in 2 races before Hungary. and that was round 1 and round 4 in Imola, or round 3 it was. I think it was round 3 or 4. I think it was round 3. And, I mean, we could literally check now. It was round 3, yeah. So it was round 3 in Imola. That was the only other time they'd been outscored in points by another team. So 2 of the first 3 races they were, and then they went 3 races of being the top scorer. They went till Abu Dhabi. They went back-to-back races, and then Hungary nowhere close, and of course Great Britain equaled in points, so not on top, depending on penalties as well. So some people might say Silo might have made a dangerous move or two, so we'll have to see as the day goes on. But ultimately, I have to say goodbye here tonight. It has definitely been an amazing stream and an absolute amazing day. I can't lie, it has really been great. Absolutely amazing to be back once again here tonight. Ooh, hopefully somebody will join me next week. Maybe not. We'll have to see how that goes. But ultimately, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing week. It has generally been absolutely amazing to see all the support you guys have been giving. We reached over 100 subscribers. We're pushing further and further. So much support. Also, think about looking down in the description if you guys want to join the Discord server. The link is down below. It should work now. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments. Please let me know, because I'll have to fix that then. Also, our Twitter is down below. Make sure to go and follow us on there for more tweets. There should be more tweets coming out very soon with standings and everything like that. Ultimately, I hope you guys have a great day. Also, thank you to everybody in this league. Thank you to the drivers, managers, team owners, and just everybody who helps me all together. Without any of them, it would be really impossible to run the league. Also, thank you to our sponsor, Rogue Energy, for sponsoring us for this season. It's great to have them on board. Ultimately, thank you guys all for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day, an amazing night, amazing week. I'll see you again on Sunday, by the way. That is when I shall next see you. When I should next see you. I think it should be Sunday, unless it's a break week. Or I'll see you next Tuesday. I won't be seeing you tomorrow night. I might be seeing you tomorrow night, but hopefully I won't be seeing you tomorrow night, as I don't think I'm going to be here for tomorrow night. But you should be seeing Cots, so it's going to be nice to see him, the man who should be here tonight. But sadly, he had to change his days. But you guys should be having him in tier 2, or you'll be hearing from me again tomorrow night. But it's absolutely been amazing. Thank you so much. Please think about subscribing, leaving a like, and make sure to click on that notification bell to know about all the content we release, streams, videos, everything. Tier 1 on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Tier 2 is on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. And 4s is at 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Sundays. Make sure to go and join us for all those streams and all the content in between. Thank you so much, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.
Humans, what have you learned?